we're going to ride today. Tennessee, Alabama, and Georgia number 80, John Chambliss. That's an old Norfolk Southern, or Norfolk and Western High Hood, Southern Railroad High Hood. I guess it'd be Southern Railroad. In the N&W, because that's merged. Okay, we're riding the Tennessee Valley Railroad Missionary Ridge local here this morning. It's Wednesday morning, and we're on it, and we're not going to be heading towards
we are lined up with
the turntable at the other end of the line, but this is, I guess this is the east end of the line, I'm thinking.
As you know, has a display yard. The right side will have Grand Junction.
There's some of the stuff they have on display here.
Now, if you haven't ridden with us before, our journey today is about an hour long. We have 15 to 20 minutes of travel in both directions on 3 miles of track, donated to us by the Southern Railway. Once we reach East Chattanooga, we'll have a 20 to 25
some of the stuff they have. There's an old Tennessee Valley Authority.
Of our turntable.
It's Gallatin fossil plant, so they used that to move coal cars around back in the
After
day.
the turntable display demonstrations, we will have a brief tour in our back shops area, where we do our restoration work and maintenance and service work on our equipment.
There's another Southern High Hood right there. Wabash Caboose.
If you look to the left, you'll see Southern 3170. This locomotive is in a livery that is known as the Southern Tuxedo livery. Livery being the paint design for railway equipment. We'll talk about that at the turntable. So just remember that livery that you see there, black and white. We call it the tuxedo because the white cummerbund that's wrapped around the locomotive.
Richmond, Fredericksburg, and Potomac is now part of CSX.
Now we are traveling on
This particular one right here is the very first one of those they made. Southern 5000. It's the first of that series. That's another high hood.
The ET&G
Okay,
would
we'll
merge
turn
with
this
one
off
of
till we
the
get back to the
railways over the
turntable.
years to become the Southern Railway. In 1890, number right now would have risen approximately 70 feet to flood out the railroad. That's South Chickamauga Creek, about 62 feet below us. There's also an investor in the Western and Atlantic Railway.
Here's some stuff
So he
coming up.
finally convinced Tennessee to allow Georgia to build those tracks.
Steam locomotive.
Now those tracks are still owned by the state of Georgia today. They are leased out to CSX Transportation, the second Class 1 railroad that frequents
I wonder where
Chattanooga.
the locomotives
CSX
went.
came about by the merging of the Chessie system with the Seaboard system back in 1980. Now this industry you see to the right is Allied Metals, and that equipment that you see on their siding is some of our extra equipment that we do not have room for at the Grand Junction display yard or at East Chattanooga yard. Now Allied Metals is one of our freight customers. We do freight service as well as passenger service. Norfolk Southern Interchange.
Okay, we're coming into the Soul Shop yard area where they work on the trains. Traction trucks, no traction motors on them. That's geared trucks or traction motors for the train.
Rail yard. The equipment may move without notice, so we do have safety as a priority. Passenger safety is first on our list while here at East Chattanooga. So we do have a few safety rules to follow while we are on property here at the yard. First, we need you to stay together as a group. As this is also a guided tour, we wouldn't want you to miss out on anything. Secondly, please stay on the walkways. Do not wander off the walkways onto tracks, ballast, or gravel areas. And also, please do not climb on any equipment. So when you do pull up to the depot, we will exit the train, take a left and head down to the turntable for the demonstration. After that, we will take a brief tour in the back shops area. Please wait for the train to come to a stop. And the conductor
Coal for the steam engines.
Exit the train.
Yeah, we're going to go down here and watch them turn this diesel locomotive around on the turntable. I've never ridden behind this diesel before. I've ridden behind the Southern, and that's been it.
So please wait for the conductor to announce it's safe to exit the train. And we will take a left and head
There's
down
Southern
to the turntable.
4501 right there. I've ridden behind it. That's a nice locomotive right there. Alright, we're going to have to get off here. There's an old RS locomotive right there. Like a 25-ton GE like they have at the Dubs Railroad right there. Okay, time to get off the train, so we'll be getting the turntable next. This is something new since the last time I was down here. They're building storage tracks off the turntable here. They got 710 sitting on one of them right now, but yeah, they're putting in new storage track. That's new since I was here 2 years ago. Here's the turntable. So, here comes number 80, Tennessee, Alabama, and Georgia Railroad number 80, the tag route. Going to turn him around here. John Samlis, number 80.
Get the microphone working, we'll get this turntable working. Our table was manufactured in 1916 by the American Bridge and Iron Foundry for the Central Georgia Railroad. This table's 80 foot long, weighs in at 80 tons, and we're about to put tag 80 on it. So it sounds like it's an 80 kind of day. Tag 80 weighs in at 125 tons. So that's going to put 200 tons basically turning in front of you today. Now, as we bring tag 80 on the table, the balancing act takes place right here. Underneath this track here in the middle is a 6 foot diameter bearing. When tag 80 comes across, he's going to basically balance on the table. This end of the track is raised up at this point, especially when he comes on at that end. He's going to tip it over a little bit towards his direction. And as he creeps across, once he creeps across that 6 foot diameter bearing, this end's going to drop down. Once that end drops, he stops because he knows he's lined up. Every once in a while, they'll nail it, and you'll actually see it tipping back and forth and teetering. Now, back in the day, this was known as an Armstrong table. Break that word down, Armstrong. When they were using steam engines and tenders, they'd get them up here balanced, and men would come out utilizing poles at the end of the railings to turn it manually. Today we got a 25 horsepower motor that we utilize, where our conductor Zach, he just pushes a button and it turns the table. Tag 80 is one of our newer diesel electric locomotives. You look underneath the cab window here, we got John A. Chambliss, number 80. Well, who was John? John was the vice president of the tag. And in 1968, when General Motors delivered the locomotive, it was on his 80th birthday. So he got his name and birthday on the locomotive. Now this is, I continue to say, it's a diesel electric. In this long hood behind the cab is a 2,000 horsepower, 16-cylinder diesel engine called a prime mover, and it doesn't move anything. It operates two pieces of equipment: a generator to create the 600 volts for the traction motor that's on each axle. So we have two axles in the front, two in the back, 4 traction motors that turn the axles. Second piece of equipment is the air compressor for the brake systems. Air is applied, it keeps the brakes off. When the air is removed, the brakes come on. And why is that? Because in a derailment, if the locomotive leaves the consist, the brakes need to come on to stop the train. So that's the reason for the reversal. Now the tag, what you're seeing today in this blue livery, the tag was absorbed into the Southern Railway. When they got into the Southern Railway, they received a tuxedo livery. That's what I pointed out on our way over. Okay, black one with the white cummerbund around it. Southern became part of Norfolk Southern. They kept the black, lost the cummerbund, and received a thoroughbred horse head on the side. Now, when the Norfolk Southern was finished using this locomotive, they turned around and put it up for auction. And the Chambliss family purchased the locomotive back. Then they turned around and donated it to us here at the museum. We stripped it down to bare metal and repainted it back to its original livery. This is what it looked like day one in 1968. That's what we do here. And we're going to take a walk up to the back shop area, and I'll show you a little bit more. Now when we're heading over, we're going to cross over 8 tracks. Please watch your step. After the second set of tracks is a restroom facility on the right. Please stay on the marked walkways, and please do not climb on any equipment.
And that's how it's done. That's really cool. Really enjoy watching them do that. Hope you did too. Going over to the shops now. If you like high hood locomotives, this is where you want to come. Now he's going to go up and hook on the other end of the train we were just on and take us back to the station here in just a little bit. That little locomotive right there is similar to the Dupps locomotive, Dupps Railroad up in Germantown, Ohio, that I've gotten one time. It might be a little bit bigger than a GE 25 tonner, but it's close. Looks like they've been working on it since the last time I was here too. All right, let's go into shops. Southern 4501, that's the first of the series of that steam engine. That's the only one left operating today. That one right there. I've ridden behind that a couple of times. That's a cool ride. There's another high hood. They're working on a lot of passenger cars down here. There's Southern 630 in the back. I guess they're working on it. I've ridden behind it too.
They didn't want to see their equipment in the back shops because if it's there, where is it not? Working on the railroad, making money. Okay, so they try to get those repairs done quickly. Now, for us here, we've got to have what I call the 3 Ps. We need people, we need parts, and pocketbooks. Okay? For the people, we've got older generation guys who've been railroading all their lives. They're passing on that head knowledge to the younger generations. Railroad crafts, electrical, the body work, the mechanical work, the seam. So these guys are doing that so that the processes here in the museum are keeping it forward. Okay? Now for parts, if we happen to have a part that we don't have in one of the 2 sheds that we have out back, with the stuff reveals this stuff.
I've ridden behind that one probably 5-6 times. That's another cool ride. Southern 630.
Cleaned up all the seat mechanisms, put it all back together, reupholstered the seats.
That's how they work on the bottom of the train.
Those are the things that we use those extra.
That's how you get underneath it, and we're going to go down in that pit.
Now, that pocketbook. Pocketbook has 4 pockets in it. One where
This is the back shop to the tool shop. This is where they do all the repairs. Not only for this railroad, but many others across the country. They have a lot of specialized equipment here that nobody else has for working on steam engines and things like that.